Hello, it's 9:30. Welcome to the weather update, February 15th. A absolutely beautiful, sunny, clear day. Still chilly, but I had a really nice visit to a place I hadn't been to in a long time. That is the northeast part of Connecticut River State Park. The video is going to be up in an hour, hopefully, or two. But it was absolutely beautiful. Sun shining bright. Still a lot of snow on the ground. Still a lot of snow you could see right there. Still a decent amount of snow that I had to walk. I mean, you can walk in it, but you really need boots. My feet got a little damp, but you can see absolutely beautiful day. Sun shining bright. And so let's take a look at the satellite image. And you see, starting to see some serious creep in from the west there. And this is the MODIS satellite image. And you'll note where the snow cover still is. So Long Island's still firmly covered with snow. However, once you go into Jersey, it looks like the snow is starting to melt. See, not too much snow once you get further south. So it looks like they finally did melt a lot of their snow today. You can see there are no clouds at all. It's interesting to see. Let's see, you go from today. Yeah, see, that was yesterday. This is today. You could sort of see how the snow melted a little bit in Jersey. So it finally started melting today. And I think it's mostly gone in Toms River, but we still have a decent amount of snow cover, particularly in Suffolk County. You can clearly see the bright white all across Suffolk County, particularly all of Suffolk County, actually. And that little green area, that is the Pine Barrens right there. That dark green area you see there, that is the color of pines. And, of course, there's a bigger area like that in New Jersey. Those are the Pine Barrens. You can see them from space. That is correct. So, anyway, let's get to what we got going on outside right now. It's cold, but not as bad as it was this morning and yesterday. Less wind. It's still cold out there. I'm not going to say anything. 25 at Islip. Looks like Westhampton is radiating. Yeah, they're getting that radiational cooling. We're going to see that tonight. So get this on this. You know, I hate when this happens. This is nothing annoying. Why is it a spinning circle and it's not loading? All right, we're going to have to do it this way. All right, so let's go over here, and you'll see Westhampton is 7 degrees right there. So 7 at Westhampton. And if we look at the day throughout Westhampton, you can see it looks like, oh, boy, look at that. It got down to, is that right? -4. -4 at Westhampton this morning. Wow, that is cold. Wow. Look at how it dropped. Look at this. That's insane. With the snow on the ground, the clear skies, light winds. Look at that. -4. Wow. That is impressive. And it could go down that cold again. I didn't even think it was going to get below 0 last night. It got below 0 in the Pine Barrens last night. Wow, that's impressive. Meanwhile, if you look at Islip, 26 degrees. And probably not as cold at Islip. Not nearly as cold. No, 14 was the low at Islip. So what a difference between... no, 17 actually was the low. No, 14. But what a difference it's, with Westhampton. My gosh, that is incredible. I mean, if you go to even Shirley, I don't even think it got that cold. So let's see, 20. It got down to 9. But, I mean, Westhampton went below 0. And not just a little below 0. That is absolutely incredible. Like I said, it's one of the perfect places for radiational cooling because it's the dwarf pines. It's very desert-like, and the radiational cooling conditions are ideal for that situation. So let's look at New Jersey here. Oh, well, New Jersey site is down once again. All right, so let's go back to the map here, and we'll get our highs and lows, meaning that we got an idea of some of the temperatures across the area. Right now, it's showing 14 in Miller Air Park, 16 at Lakehurst. So they might get some radiational cooling again tonight, but the coldest area right now is Westhampton. So let's go to those low temperatures this morning. I don't think anyone's beating Westhampton. You see right there on the map, -4 at Westhampton. That is unbelievably cold. Wow. -4. 9 at Shirley, 14 for a low at Islip. And the Manhattan, let's see what Central Park got down to 16. Pretty cold, even for the city. And then we go looking at New Jersey's lows. Oh, yeah, not quite 3 degrees above. I mean, that's cold. 3 degrees for a low at Miller Air Park in the Pine Barrens, Western Times River is cold, but not like Westhampton. So let's go to the highs. See a little more uniformity here, I think. So high 28 at Westhampton, 28 at Islip. So we still didn't break freezing. City got to 30. So, yeah, we didn't really get above freezing today on Long Island. Not surprisingly because of the snow cover. But let's see if it got above. It got above freezing at 34 in Miller Air Park, 31 in Toms River. So it got a little warmer there. And also they don't have the snow cover, so that also helped make it extremely cold in the dwarf pines. But that is absolutely incredible right there. And I just want to explain to you why it's so cold. We're going to go to the dwarf pines for a minute because it's a very unique spot. And it's known to be very, very cold there at night. And the conditions are just ideal for this kind of thing. I mean, if we look at the satellite imagery here, you'll see this is the Pine Barrens right here. And it's just very, very desert-like. Very extremely desert-like here. And that's why you see this. You know, I mean, look at, we'll just take you to Street View and you'll see. It's just all short pines. And with the snow cover, it just radiates. It's just flat, and it's almost like a little bowl in here, especially where the airport is. It's just right here. The yacht weather station is in the airport, so it just kind of, the cold air just kind of sinks in here, and just really, it's an amazing spot for radiational cooling. Very impressive indeed. But anyway, let's get to what we have going on, and you'll notice that there are some gale watches in effect, and even a high wind watch for New England there, you see in the corner right there. So if we go and look at the gale watch here, you will see that we had a small craft advisory, south winds 15. So this is for this system that this front we're going to be dealing with on Thursday that we're going to have to watch out for. And the high wind watch also in effect for that area. Also, high wind watch in effect Thursday and Friday, and this is for gusts possibly up to 60 miles an hour. So far, not in our area, but we're going to have to watch and see if that gets extended into our area or not. I'm curious if the Weather Service ever brought up the low in Westhampton here. Not really. They never did. Wow, that -4 is very impressive. Very impressive indeed. I don't know what the record is for Westhampton, but that's pretty cold. But, you know, if the dew point is that low and the wind is calm and the sky is clear, especially with snow cover, it's going to drop down to that dew point. It's incredible. I would love to be there in Westhampton at the crack of dawn when it's -4 degrees, looking at the sun rising above the pines. That must be totally awesome. But anyway, let's get to the models here, and you'll see there's that big high that we have. That is going to be moving offshore, and in its place we are going to have southwest flow, so warmer tomorrow. But you notice the tight isobars there, all right? Here comes this cold front and this huge storm system that's going to be cutting up the Great Lakes. So you can see, look at how tight those isobars are. So this low goes well into the Great Lakes, so no worries for snow for us, though there will be in parts of the upper Great Lakes area. You'll see that V shape in the isobars. We'll point that out to you in a moment here. But you'll see here that the front passes through offshore by Friday, and then after that, we have another high build in after that. And we have like a little bit of a change in the jet stream pattern. You notice some ridging going on. Still some highs and cold fronts moving through, but it's generally a different jet stream pattern that we're going to be entering into with less of the Arctic air. So let's go looking at the jet stream pattern. We'll get this long range over with, and then we'll talk about the storm. So see, there's that trough. It wasn't a particularly deep trough either, but whatever. The conditions were right to get some really cold air in here. But you'll see now, jet stream pattern is a little differently. It's a little more zonal. The troughs aren't as deep. And you see definitely more of a zonal flow. No big troughs in the east. There's a shallow one that comes through toward the end of the month. But you'll see it does sort of look like it's pointing to more cold air perhaps as we get into March. That's a pretty deep dive in the jet stream there. But that is March 3rd that we're looking at. All right. So when we look at the height anomaly, you'll see here the predominances of ridges here. Though there is a trough that's going to swing through on the weekend. But then you can see the predominance of ridging in the east. But then as you get toward the end of that looks like a pretty deep trough. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But that is way in the distance right now. But this all correlates to temperatures being above normal. So if we go look at the rest of we look at this week tomorrow, we're going to be a little bit above normal. Thursday, way above normal. See all that bright red in the east. You can see where the cold air is coming in here behind this cold front, well above normal Friday morning. But most of the cold air kind of just, because the jet stream's kind of like lifting up, so we won't really get into too much of the really bitter cold. A little bit above normal on Saturday, maybe close to normal, a little bit below normal. Then you can see, though, that there's more cold air waiting in the wings. Here we are. You see above normal in the east, but you still see that cold air kind of building down in Canada, and I think we're going to eventually get a piece of that eventually. You can sort of see toward the end of the period there what's going to happen. But if we go and we look at the climate outlook, which we'll go over right now, the Climate Prediction Center, the 6 to 10 day has the east above normal, and precipitation well above normal in the Great Lakes area. We're kind of near normal. And then the west is below normal, so this favors a ridge in the east and a trough in the west. And you still see that on the 8 to 14 days. So definitely we're not going to be dealing with this bitter cold for a while. We're going to be getting a break from it. So let's take a closer look and see what's going to be happening now. Let's go to the HRRR model and look at the 0Z run for tonight. So here's tomorrow. Still dry, but you'll notice the isobars getting tight. That means a strong southwest wind that we're going to be dealing with here, and you'll start to see maybe a couple of sprinkles pop up on Thursday, but the real main event is this cold front here that's going to be moving in, and that is going to be bringing. Now, the HRRR only takes us out to Friday, to Thursday at 7 p.m. It doesn't go past that. If we want to go past that, we can look at the GFS, and you see this front looks intense, and the concern here is when you look at this GFS, what do we see here with the isobars? We see that V again. So when we see that V in the isobars, that means that we have a potentially hazardous situation, a strong cold front, which could bring some severe weather to our area. And that's, when you see that type of thing, that is something to be concerned about. Either way, it's going to bring in a lot of rain. Well, all that snow is going to be gone between the warmth and the rain. It'll all be gone. All right, and if we look at the GFS and see total rainfall, we could see up to an inch of rain perhaps. Right now, like I said, it's kind of early. We don't have all the models in yet for this storm. Let me go to the icon. Let me go to the icon, and we can look at this on the icon as well. Slightly higher resolution. You can see the tightness of those isobars and that V shape. So that's the concern that we are going to have to watch for Friday. So let me go back to the HRRR, and we will go over the temperatures tonight. I think we're going to have another really cold night in the Pine Barrens. Maybe not below zero in Westhampton tonight, but I think around zero is a good bet tonight. Of course, the models don't really show that, but skies stay fairly clear, and the winds probably don't pick up until the morning. But then we get that southwest wind, and that moves the warmer air in. Let me show the dew. Let me go to the dew point so you can see where the air flow is coming from. So you see we have that south flow, and that south flow increases throughout the day tomorrow. It'll be warmer, and then as we get into Thursday, it goes a little more southwesterly, and you start seeing some more of that moisture, and the wind starts picking up. All right. Yeah, if we want to go further and look at the GFS here, you see that wind starts picking up, and you can see here we are at midnight, Thursday night, Friday morning, and you can see that wind picking up there. Very strong LLJ. It's going to be humid too, so warm, humid air, and then look at this intense difference here between the air masses here and the really strong wind shift. This is what is going to bring the possibility of severe weather for our area, probably overnight, Thursday night to Friday morning. It could be rough out there. And if we were to look at the winds, which we will do, let's look at we can look at the A50 wind. Well, first let's look at the surface winds, and look at these surface winds. This is very concerning, especially offshore. This is a lot of wind here. All right, this is wind gusts over 50 miles an hour, sustained 30. All right, But if we go above and we look at the 850 wind, this is where it gets a little scary, because if we look at the 850 wind, look at how strong that is. So any thunderstorm, severe weather thunderstorm could bring those winds down to the surface, and that's the concern that we have for Friday morning. This could be a pretty significant event. We're going to have to keep an eye on it. Last time we kind of escaped the worst of it, but I don't know if that's going to happen this time. All right. So let me go back to the HRRR, and we'll go ahead and look at our temperatures. Go back to our temperatures, and again, this is we'll go to the 0Z run of the HRRR. So tomorrow we're dealing with mid-40s, maybe close to 50 in Jersey. Not as cool tomorrow night, probably lows. We'll be staying above freezing. Once we get above freezing, we're staying above freezing for a while. Thursday, look at how warm it gets. Look at that. Wow. There's going to be a huge difference. In Jersey, you could hit 70 degrees. But that southwest flow off the water could keep Long Island in the 50s. So it could be a big difference in temperatures on Thursday. We could see some records fall. That is quite impressive. A quite impressive warmth there. But again, if you look at the dew points, the wind direction, that southwest wind off the water will have a tendency to keep Long Island cooler. So let me go to the GFS now. So we'll move the temperatures along. GFS not quite as gung-ho on that warmth, but there's going to be a lot of warmth coming up ahead of that cold front. And then we're dealing with that warmth through the night into Friday morning, and then the temperatures drop by Friday afternoon. We're falling to the low 40s. And then by Saturday morning, we're around the freezing mark. And then Saturday, we are right around normal for this time of year, low 40s. And then at night, it drops down into below freezing. And then for Sunday, we recover back to around 40 degrees, mid-30s to around 40. All right? And if we do go beyond that, you'll see we moderate again. And we continue to stay, no really big Arctic air masses coming into the picture as we move this through. It's not until perhaps the weekend of February 26th that we're going to have to deal with more of the Arctic air again. I'm pretty sure we're not done with it. We're going to have to deal with more of it. It's just we're getting a more normal winter, not completely normal, but more normal winter with Arctic air intrusions into the area. So let's go and look at the sky situation. And I like to use the RGEM for this. So let's go to the sky situation here tomorrow. And we'll be dealing with some of the scattered cirrus. But I still think there's going to be a decent amount of sunshine tomorrow. Maybe some cirrus around, but I still think there's going to be more sun than clouds. The clouds thicken when tomorrow night. And then Thursday, we'll be dealing with mostly cloudy skies. But there still could be breaks of sun. And then here comes, you could sort of see the cloud. And then by Friday, perhaps Friday afternoon, we might start getting some sunshine back in here. And then Saturday will hopefully be a clear day after that. And if you go to the GFS, you can see here, Saturday looks like a fairly clear day, maybe some clouds in the afternoon. And then Sunday also looks clear. So we'll have some nice days on the weekend, and it won't be bitterly cold like it was today. But, yeah. So let's, I can look at the NAM sky forecast if you want. We'll do that. And there's my radiator chiming in once again. Here's the NAM. The NAM, you can see some of the cirrus, but really not. It's not going to be that thick. The NAM's a little more aggressive, actually, in the afternoon with bringing more clouds in off the ocean. It may be overdone. It may very well be overdone. But I am curious about, let's go to the NAM 12 and see how far out we have of this so it can kind of show this front here. See, it doesn't look quite that impressive on the NAM 12, but we have to wait until we have a little more. We still have to wait until more models come in until we have a better idea of what's going to happen, but the possibility is there for sure. And I want to also look at the European model as far as the winds go. All right, so let's move this European model along to Thursday night here, and you'll start seeing that southerly flow. All right, this is the European model. All right, you start seeing, look at that. Here we are, 2 a.m., and you can see this is not even wind gusts. So Nassau, Jersey, your wind gusts are going to be, your wind is going to be high, but if the further east you go and the more on the South Shore, this is where the wind could be really high. South at 34. These are sustained winds, all right? If I move this into the wind gust category, which is what I really want to do, you'll see that the winds could be gusting. Here we are, 45 miles an hour in Nassau, but if you go out to Suffolk County, could be closer to 50 or even over that. So this is going to be an impressive little event here. And you can see the risk is more east, like out over the ocean. Some of these wind gusts to 64. But you'll see how warm it also has it as well. And also this could start up the waves too. Yeah, I see some high surf as well being generated by this model here. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And then we can also look at the temperature as well to show you again what's going to happen. This is the European model. It's maybe underdone with the temperatures. Let me go to the GFS. I wish too bad they don't have the HRRR on here. Actually, you know what? We can actually switch to the Ventus Sky. It uses the HRRR. So you can get an idea of what the temperatures could look like for your Thursday here. All right, so here's 2 o'clock Thursday afternoon, and this is exactly what I'm talking about here. Long Island, see that south flow keeps Long Island in the 50s, but look at Jersey. You could make a run at 70 degrees on Thursday. So that is definitely a possibility. So we have some interesting weather up ahead, and that's really going to be the weather to look out for is Thursday. Ridiculous warmth, then thunderstorms, perhaps severe thunderstorms in the wee hours of the morning into Friday with this cold front. So we'll see what happens. We'll have more information, but definitely, it could be rough. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care, and thanks for watching.